Let me ask you this question. Have you ever observed the activity of your mind? The constant buzzing, the non-stop mental chatter that turns into a tsunami of emotions. It's like a dance, the mind chatter and emotions in perfect synchronicity. The mind takes the first lead and the emotions predictably reacts to it, and together they either drown you in sorrow or uplift you so high that you lose touch of reality. Don't underestimate the emotions though. Make no mistake, it can get so good that if the lead dancer, which is the mind, takes a break for even just a very brief moment, it will take over and take the lead. Simply put, the cycle starts from a thought and then it becomes an emotion. But when the body gets so addicted with the emotion, the mind might not be even thinking, but the emotion can kick in first and try to remind the mind to start thinking again. Does this all sound familiar to you? Well, this is what Eckhart Tolle refers to as being completely possessed by the mind. So instead of you using your mind and the wonderful tool and ability to think, the mind uses you. Simply ask yourself if you can even stop your mind from thinking, and you'll see how the mind has taken over you. You don't even know it uses you because you are so attached and identified to it that you got convinced that you and your thoughts are one, which then becomes your ego or your false sense of identities. There is no space at all between you and your stream of thoughts. And most of the time, these are negative thoughts on repeat and continuously playing in your head, and what causes a lot of anxiety and depression in most of us. In spiritual terms, this is what they call being unconscious, which is the opposite of being conscious, of being awake and enlightened. When you spend the rest of your day thinking about the past or worrying about the future, is it safe to say that you are like in a dreamlike state? Hence, unconscious. Being in awakened state requires you to be fully aligned in the now, in the present moment. So when you are simply washing the dishes, can you really be there being present? What most of us do is that we are washing the dishes or whatever chore or task we are doing, but our mind is somewhere else. Some 3 years ago, by divine synchronicity, I got connected to Eckhart Tolle and his books. I started reading The Power of Now, and then I read a simple spiritual pointer. And little did I know this pointing is going to unlock and open the door wide open to liberation from me being so identified, attached, hypnotized, and possessed by my own dysfunctional conditioned mental thought process. Eckhart simply said, "You are not your thoughts." And of course, throughout the book, he was able to explain more about this, but it created enough space between me and the stream of thoughts and allowed me to go deeper and investigate this further. Let me now share some practical guidance and practices that I myself continue to use because things from a non-personal space. And you will notice you becoming less reactive, more alert. The thoughts or the entire movie scene don't stick as long anymore, and so the emotions lessens as well. The less negative thoughts, the less anxiety and depression. You will also create more headspace for creativity or space just to simply just be. You will eventually feel more freedom from the constant mental chatter. Practice number 2. Instead of normally focusing on the undesirable life situation or focusing on the people who have caused you great pain, try to reverse and become more interested with your own thought process and reactions from a gentle and non-judgmental and non-rigid place. Remember, try to picture it like you are doing this from the back seat of your car. You are just simply watching and observing. There's no strict guidelines or achieving becoming a good or enlightened person, just simply observing and being curious as to why you think or translate or perceive things a certain way. When you are able to do this, this is a sign of your ability and capacity to detach from identification with your thoughts or your ego, which is your false sense of identity. Let us say there is a car driving very slow in front of you. As you start feeling irritated and even feel a slight rage taking over your body, instead of reacting and allowing the mind and emotion help from your family and friends. In my case, since I have a husband, he is the main person to whom I share this journey with, and I am very grateful that he is very open and supportive of whatever path I decide to walk on and discover. One of the main things that I ask from him is to be the person to remind me when I am about to be taken over by my ego, in, of course, the gentlest and kindest way. Talking to your people about this and sharing moments when you are able to stay alert before the mind and emotion takes over you can truly help you with your momentum, and a lot of times it can inspire the people you talk to about this journey. Practice number 5, align with the now. Eckhart mentioned that if you take notice, every present moment is quite simple. For me, I find this to be true. Without the mental chatter, you are either simply just drinking your coffee, making a sandwich, chewing your food, folding laundry, walking to the parking lot, driving to work, washing the dishes, petting your dog, combing your hair. Every single present moment is quite simple. But if you have extreme negative thoughts constantly playing in your head, you drown in those thoughts and you are totally disconnected from the simplicity of the present moment, which in most cases is pretty neutral, and it is where you can find refuge and peace of mind. So as you notice yourself drowning in mental noise again, simply choose to align in the now by becoming aware of where you are presently and bring the attention back to whatever it is you are doing, and replace the mental chatter with paying attention to the details of whatever it is you're doing in the present moment. There, you will meet with peace. I hope that you find these tips helpful in your journey to a peaceful mind and heart. Please know that we are all in this together. There's nothing wrong with you. We all have been influenced and conditioned by our environment and the collective. And what we are simply doing is recognizing them. And by doing so, we naturally take back our energy and power over the conditioned mental structure and be able to use this wonderful tool, which is the mind and its ability to think, and so we can enjoy the participation of the play of form. I thank you for staying with me today, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts and ideas on the comment section below, and subscribe to receive notifications on my new video uploads. Again, thank you so much for your time. Peace be with you.